Greetings to the Conscious Collective. Today we're going to be talking about Venus enters Sagittarius, and we're going to be looking at the characteristics with Orion Starseed.
Large, reliable
And
companies will
let me
crumble.
turn this down
While
really
smaller,
quick.
little-known firms will dominate.
And we're also going to be looking at the Vega Starseed in regards to these readings. I hope everyone is doing well. It's a couple of days after the celebration of the genocide of Native Americans, which we refer to as Thanksgiving in the United States. Again, the matrix is matrixing, and a lot of people are participating in things that they just are not aware of. And that's just where some people are at this point in their development, is they're not very aware of a lot of things that they continue to celebrate and continue to take part of. So we're going to mix it up a little bit today. I had, of course, some technical capabilities. I had a new screen that would not act right, so hopefully I can present it in the future. But again, I said we're going to be looking at Venus enters Sagittarius and looking at that divine energy, and then looking at the characteristics around that energy, which are the Vega Starseed, okay, and also looking at the Orion Starseeds. And I wanted to add this part into our conversation, not just the actual reading, but to give a little bit more background on the different characteristics and traits of these star seeds. All this information can be found on the YouTube channels. I do a characteristic and trait breakdown of each star seed, but in case you would rather have all that digestible in one location, I am going to be replaying some of those podcasts I've been producing so we can have a better understanding of these traits and characteristics. As I said often, and I'm going to say it again for our new people who may not be aware, but when we look at the traits and characteristics, we are not saying that you are a Lyran or a Palladian or anything along those lines. We're saying that our energy, our soul makeup resonates with these types of star seeds, just as in your zodiac sign, you may have traits and characteristics of a Taurus or a Gemini or a Pisces. Some of us have distinct feelings that we have different characteristics of souls that may not be known in this plane of existence. And so my job is to try to educate us on that a little bit more. All right. So let's look at this energy of Venus entering Sagittarius. Okay. And then we'll check out the videos of each starseed before we do a discussion on it, right? So when we look at that Venus entering Sagittarius, we know Venus is the planet of love, right? And so when Venus enters Sagittarius, the energy of love, desires, and values and creativity catches fire and begins to be stretched beyond old boundaries. This actual transit opens up a portal of exploration. And just as a side note, we won't have another transit to the 4th. So this will be the last transit until the 4th. All right, just a side note. All right, so as this transit opens up a portal of exploration, truth-telling, and spiritual curiosity and liberation, Venus in Sagittarius moves like a flame, restless, honest, alive, and it challenges everything small, stagnant, or restricted within the heart. So this is a period of expansion in your relationships, a period of expansion in that self-love and self-worth, and your creativity. Also, this is an opportune time for that spiritual alignment and to challenge your money beliefs. We're always challenged by these money beliefs. You'd be surprised. Just think about it as you go through these holiday season. Where did you get these thoughts from? Where did you get this impressions and what you think that you're supposed to be doing? And let's go kill some turkeys. Who the hell added turkeys into the mix? Right? of course, it was the turkey industry trying to get their, increase their turkey sales. Did you know that milk is very bad for the body? But the milk industry wanted to sell more milk. And so they developed a campaign that said milk does a body good, which is pure matrix. It's actually the opposite. Milk is horrible for the body, and we're the only species that drinks another species nourishment for their young. And so we get these thoughts in our heads, and we repeat them, and we teach our children, and we continue just rolling on. Then we realize it doesn't work for us, and then we want to escape the matrix, not realizing we are the matrix. You are the matrix. You're the one that is creating the reality. You stop creating the reality, I know people are going to stare and look at you and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you must be in a cult," or because they want to perpetrate the reality and keep you in lower vibration that fuels that reality. I said all that to say because of your belief around money, right? Money is a construct. It doesn't actually exist. Before there was the dollar, there was the doubloon. Before the doubloon, there was 8 pieces of silver. All these are constructs and values that we add to things. And so when you have a value that you add to something, you believe you don't have it, you create that reality. You create that belief system that you don't have it, okay? And so during this time period, it's the time the Venus entering Sagittarius is to challenge those beliefs. That's the point of this energy, is to give you the strength and the boost you need to rewrite your narrative, to rewrite your story, to rewrite what you believe, okay? Because sometimes it's actually harder to do it standing from zero. So you need to add 1, which means 2. I learned this from Muslims' teachings, that you take 0, right? But 0 is actually 1 because it's 1 of 0. And so now you got the 1 and the 0, but now you got 2. So 0 and 1 equal 2. And so that's how actually creation, according to Islamic, Black Muslims or Islamic teaching, how creation came into effect is by adding, taking that 0 and understanding that 0 is 1, because you have 1 of nothing. And then now you have 2, 1 of nothing and 1, which gives you 2. And they went right down the line until you got back to 1 and 0. So first you started at 0 and 1 and 1 and 0. I know, it's way out there. Just interesting. It helps you think about how things came into being, how something could be nothing and come into 1, and then 1 equal 2, and then go repeat the cycle. But let's get back to what we're talking about, and that's Venus entering Sagittarius and looking at that Vegan and that Orion Starseeds. So we're going to be getting to the Vegans in this talk that we're doing, and the Orions, Starseeds, as we communicate this information. But one of the things that Venus, I was doing this the other day in one of the other lives, because I was talking about Syrian, and I think something else kept throwing me off. I'm gonna try not to make that mistake again. But we're talking about Venus, Vega Starseeds, and Orion Starseeds. So we're looking at Venus in Sagittarius. It teaches us that love thrives in truth, prosperity grows in authenticity and relationships. It evolves through shared purpose and vision. As your Christian Bible tells you, you must be evenly yoked. You must be evenly yoked. So you must have a shared purpose and vision. That's what this Vegas and Sagittarius is teaching us. I don't know too much about zodiac sign. I think a Sagittarius is a horse or something like that. My expertise are really in Starseeds. But let me call up a Sagittarius image real quick and see what it looks like. Sagittarius image, I thought it was a horse. It's not showing me a horse or anything like that. Maybe I'm misspelling. Let me see. Sagitt. Yes, it is a horse. So the Sagittarius image is a horse. All right. And so I guess I brought that up to say that love thrives in truth and purpose and vision. I'm trying to think the relationship between Venus and Sagittarius, love in that image. I know it's about the placement of the stars, but I'm trying to think what the horse will have to do with that. All right. So that transit pulls the heart towards higher understanding and burns away illusion. All right. So now we're going to move into talking about the Vega starseed. I touched on a lot of things from the planet of love to Sagittarius, the horse, but the really thing that I'm really interested in is the starseed aspect of it. And when I say the starseed aspect of it, I'm saying that even though you may not be more aligned with a Vegan starseed or Orion starseed, we all have these traits in us because starseeds are so intermingling. But depending on what your earthly mission is here, like mine as a Blu-ray, is to bring the collective together, to explain, to give understanding as a Blu-ray starseed, to help raise the consciousness, right? You may have a certain starseed that you're aligned with, but you do have different starseed traits, and you need to know how that energy affects your mission and your purpose. So let's look at one of the videos, and let's start with the Vega video or podcast, and I'll give some commentary along. I don't know if we're gonna listen to the whole thing, but I'm gonna give some commentary along with that.
Today we're getting into the really fascinating material that defines the spiritual identity of Vega starseeds. We've gathered a bunch of sources to kind of build a blueprint of their energetic signature.
Right.
Our whole mission here is to distill what makes these individuals to tick. They're believed to be, highly artistic, super intuitive, and they often just feel different, fundamentally out of sync with Earth.
And I think it's crucial to set the stage here. We're looking at an identity that's defined by energetic and emotional patterns.
Not physical ones.
Not physical at all. The lore calls this their spiritual appearance. It's.
And you're going to hear this often, that we're looking at our consciousness and our soul, our spiritual appearance, and not so much our physical. The physical appearance is short-lived anyway. If you know anything about reincarnation, right, you have been many types of forms, some human, some non-human. So we don't really look at the physicality. That's what's the third eye. If you could just look at the physical part, you wouldn't need a third eye. But the third eye allows you to look at the energetic part, and that is the spiritual form.
How their soul energy ends up manifesting as a personality, which is totally separate from the physical body you're in.
Okay, so let's unpack that internal world a bit.
Yeah.
The core traits are pretty intense.
Very intense.
You're seeing high intuition, profound empathy, and this natural pull towards really deep creative expression.
Art, music, writing.
Exactly. It's central to who they are. But that sensitivity, it often makes them seem really independent.
Peak connection. It's where they feel that it'd have to be, right?
Yeah.
And that sensitivity, it creates what might be the key emotional detail in all the sources.
A homesickness.
A homesickness. A deep, persistent homesickness for an unknown place. It's like a longing for a frequency that just doesn't exist here.
And that feeling, that separation, is what drives their interests, isn't it?
Yeah.
It explains the deep fascination with the stars, with space, sci-fi, fantasy.
Space, cosmic, yeah.
So you take that high energy, that deep sensitivity, and it leads us right into what the lore says are their unique capabilities. They're drawn to things like healing and metaphysics, and they have this weird knack for finding...
I'm sorry, that's me trying to expand this, but I'm just trying to give the best possible view of this. But we're looking at the Vega starseed characteristic from the podcast that's on the channel if you want to see the complete video.
Other starseeds.
Yeah.
But the most specific and honestly the most intriguing claim is this concept of astral lawmaking.
Yeah, that's the big one. This idea suggests that some Vega souls can actually set or adjust spiritual laws.
Okay, what does spiritual laws even mean here? I mean, think of the universal principles of non-physical reality. So
to interrupt again, we're giving a background on the Vega starseed before we break down on how their energy is playing into the Venus enters Sagittarius transit. And we're going to do this by looking at the previous video that I have done of each star seed, so you have a better understanding of what that star seed characteristics and traits are and how it applies to the current transit and how you can maneuver with it in your own life.
Rules of energy exchange, karma, the framework for soul contracts, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
But it's limited. Their jurisdiction, so to speak, usually only applies to their own energy field or maybe a specific mission they're on. It's a pretty profound claim about their influence.
It is. And that function just begs the question about their role, right?
Yeah.
Why lawmaking?
Right.
When you look at the lore, Vega is in the Lyra constellation. And Lyra is tied to wisdom, light, and crucially...
Hey, if you can put what other star seed species is from the Lyran constellation, okay? Put that in the comments and let me know if you've been following along with the teachings of star seeds and the various different types. I went over which ones were also from that star seed. So see if you remember which one and put it in the comments for me.
Judgment.
Yeah.
They get called ancient souls, even spiritual warriors of light. So how does that square with the high empathy and the artistic sensitivity we were just talking about?
And that is the core paradox of the Vega signature. It's the whole puzzle. Their spiritual appearance, this high energy signature, it isn't just about gentle creation. It's about applying that wisdom. The warrior metaphor isn't about combat.
It's about spiritual heavy lifting. Exactly. The heavy lifting of bringing these really complex, difficult lessons of soul growth down to earth. They carry this burden of moral clarity, and they're constantly searching for the mission that's going to use all that energy.
So when you synthesize all the material, you're left with this tension.
A tension, yes.
The Vega signature is this complex mix of deep spiritual awareness and creativity on one hand, and the heavy responsibility of judgment, of lawmaking on the other. It's this highly artistic soul just searching for its mandate.
And they have to accept the burden of feeling like an outsider until that mission is totally clear.
Right.
Precisely. And, you know, we started this by defining their identity as a spiritual appearance, an energetic signature.
Yeah.
So if that signature manifests as this unique combination of creative passion, feeling like an outsider, and this profound drive to execute a mission, then maybe you should consider this. Perhaps the true measure of their lineage isn't the star they claim. Maybe is the intensity and the structure of the moral and energetic task you feel compelled to complete right here on Earth.
That's a powerful thought.
That is the ultimate definition of their specific light.
Okay, let's...
All right. So what happened? How come that did not come back up? Well, let's see if it'll come up now. That's what we need right here. That's what we need, baby, right there. Okay. So let's break down how the Vega energy is affected by Venus entering Sagittarius. And that's what we want to look at right now. And so let's add a little background music before we go into this discussion really quick. Bear with me a little bit. I am just messing around. I like to mess around with these things. It didn't come back up. That's interesting. All right. So we look at the Vega Star Seed, and we're talking about opening the heart to freedom, purpose, and higher love. Once again, right, we're talking about how Venus represents love, and we have Sagittarius. So in that, the Vega Star Seed originated from Lyran's ancient harmonious worlds and resonates naturally with the uplifting and philosophy-driven energy of Sagittarius. When Vegas enters this sign, Vega Star Seeds experience a surge in their heart expanding, their spiritual connection, and their higher compassion, that visionary love, that relationship clarity, and a soul level generosity. So we understand the traits and characteristics around the Vega Star Seeds, right? Well, we're looking at how this transit is expanding that heart and opening that heart more. So you will find more compassion and more love for your mission as a Vega Star Seed. All right. So if you look at the video and you understand the purpose and what the traits and characteristics of Vegas are, this is how that energy is going to affect you in that mission. This relationship becomes less about the emotional entanglement and more about spiritual purpose. Remember we were talking about earlier about being aligned in your soul and your purpose? Vegans often feel a deep calling to express truth with love, speak from the heart without fear, and align relationships with their soul mission. All right. So you're going to be in this space of looking for those that are aligning with your soul mission with this Vega energy that you're experiencing, right? During this time period, because Venus is entering Sagittarius, you're trying as a Vega starseed to find something that aligns more, or find others, whether it be your soul tribe or individuals that align more with your spiritual purpose and your mission. Financially, this transit helps Vega starseeds break limited patterns around abundance. We talked earlier about how we learn our negative views of money and incorrect views of statue affect us, right? So with the help of this transit, right, we're going to break those limiting patterns around those abundance. Venus and Sagittarius encourage them to explore new opportunities. This is a good opportunity. This is a good chance or the perfect time to explore new opportunities, maybe investing in your education, even traveling. Traveling alone will expand your mind. Just traveling alone. That's why you see some people take a gap year and they go traveling. I mean, when you're honest about being a gap year, you have to have the finance. That means that your parents have those abilities to support you mainly. Sometimes I guess you could do it on your own and kind of work your way around the world, but that experience is so valuable, and sometimes it even beats education. Creative expansion and trust in the larger vision that aligns your prosperity with purpose. Don't worry about this day-to-day broke mentality. Think about the long approach, the long scale, your long-term vision during this transit you're going to. So for Vega starseeds, this transit is a reminder. Love is sacred. Love is sacred. So many times, oh my God, we misuse love. We throw love around. Love you, love you, love you, love you, with not understanding that is a sacred. When people are involved, love is the highest vibration. And so it's the most spiritual vibration. All right. So you have to understand that love is sacred. A lot of things don't last because they're not really based in love. They're based in lust, want, desire, need. They're not based in love, right? But when you base things into love, love is very sacred because it's one of the highest vibration. God is love. I was looking at this guy made a really good point about the ark in the Christian Bible and how God destroyed the world with a flood, right? So in the Christian Bible, it is saying that God saw the world that it was wicked and he decided to destroy everything. And I'm like, and the guy made the point, the fish, the animals, the everything, you just want to destroy everything. You know, just anything that just the whole planet, trees, everything, it just didn't make any sense, right? Because we know that God is love. God is the ultimate version of love. God loves all facets of us, the planet. God loves flies. They serve a purpose. Okay. We have a very narrow understanding of love. If you think about love, like when I see a maggot, oh, it just creeps me out. I don't like the way maggots look, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. But you have to understand that God, the God of energy, loves that as part of His creation. So it's a different concept of love than we understand. All right. So when you understand that love as a Vega starseed, that love is sacred, purposeful, and rooted in freedom. If you can let it go, you love it. If you can let it go, then you love it. All right. Love, when you look at freedom, love is about allowing whatever it is to be what it is. That's what freedom is. To let whatever it is be what it is. And love is rooted in freedom. And we have to understand that, all right? So let's look at the Orions. We're going to look at the Orion Starseeds. And first, we're going to get a little background information on the Orions before we go into an explanation of how this energy, the Venus entering Sagittarius energy, is going to affect the Orion characteristics.
Today we're going deep on a really fascinating spiritual concept, Orion Starseeds.
Yeah, and it's a belief system with a pretty clear definition right out of the gate. The core idea is that Orion starseeds are, well, they're souls that are believed to come from the Orion constellation.
Souls with a specific mission.
Exactly, a really strong sense of purpose. It's all about achieving and helping others achieve a kind of higher consciousness.
So our goal here is to really get into what defines them. Because the sources describe this almost contradictory blend of like warrior energy and this very analytical mind.
And that blend is the whole key,
Right.
because their mission, according to what we've read, is to help humanity balance duality.
Now, when they mention that Orions have that warrior energy, we don't think of it in terms of aggression, because starseeds don't really work in aggressions, but we think of determination as that warrior energy. Not if you have Orion starseed characteristics and traits, you are very determined.
Balanced duality. What does that actually mean? Like light and shadow.
Yeah, exactly that. Light and shadow, intellect and emotion, basically bringing opposites into harmony, but on a huge global scale.
Okay, so let's break that down. First, you have this warrior of light idea.
Very passionate, very driven.
Right, focused on justice, on overcoming obstacles, a real leadership energy.
As I said earlier, when we're looking at starseeds, it's not about the nature of aggression, but just very passionate when we say warrior.
But then there's the other side.
The intellectual side, the scholar or the seeker, they have this intense need for truth. They have to question everything.
But that feels like a huge contradiction, doesn't it? I mean, to be so fiercely analytical, but also to subscribe to a cosmic origin story that isn't, empirical.
And the sources tackle that head on. They basically say that tension is the point.
Oh, interesting.
That internal push and pull is how they work through duality themselves. Some texts even link it to resolving these ancient destructive galactic conflicts.
So they're here on Earth to spark a spiritual awakening. Using that clarity they're always searching for to help people get past fear.
Precisely. Which brings us to the constellation itself, right? Orion.
Which has so much history. The Greeks, the Maya.
Huge mythological significance. And of course, everyone knows the three-star belt. Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka.
And this is where it gets really specific emotionally. The sources talk about this deep homesickness that some of these individuals feel.
Now, as a starseed, you're going to hear this theme a lot, this homesickness. A lot of us as starseeds, we come from places that are less chaotic and less dramatic, but we, as part of our soul purpose, offered ourselves up to actually raise the vibration and the consciousness of humanity. And so we deal with this place, but we do feel out of place and we feel a lot of homesickness.
A sense of loss.
Yeah, but not for anywhere on Earth. It's from Mintaka, which they describe as a kind of lost water world. It's such a powerful sensory detail.
And that emotional side connects directly to their biggest challenges. That analytical mind can, well, it can go into overdrive.
Overthinking everything.
Overthinking, becoming emotionally disconnected, even cynical if the world doesn't live up to their ideals of truth.
Okay, but wait. If they're warriors of light, why the cynicism?
Yeah.
And what's this about them struggling with vulnerability?
That's a huge one for them. The research suggests they see vulnerability as dangerous, almost a liability.
Why?
It's supposedly a holdover from those past conflicts we mentioned, a time when being emotionally open was like a fatal mistake. So they build these massive intellectual walls.
So how does this all translate into, real world action? What are they supposed to be doing here?
Well, the sources say it manifests in spiritual work, things like offering clear guidance, deep insights, and energy healing Reiki, crystal work, that kind of thing.
All aimed at promoting unity.
It's about collaboration. So when you boil it all down, you get this profile of someone just fiercely committed to integrity, to truth.
And to that really difficult internal work of integrating their own light and shadow.
Exactly.
If ancient cultures looked up at Orion and saw a bridge, a connection between our physical world and the spiritual realm, then how might embracing this idea of a starseed origin, how might that redefine our own personal sense of strength and purpose right here on Earth?
Okay, so let's unpack this. The source.
All right. I don't know why this doesn't really pop like it should, but we're going to work with it. All right. So now we have a better understanding of Orion Starseeds. And so we want to look at this Vegas inter Sagittarius transit and how that affects that Orion Starseed trait and characteristic. So we look at the Orion light Starseeds. We're looking at positive polarity, truth activation, relationship liberation, and fierce clarity. So when again, as a starseed, we say fierce, we're talking about determination, not violence. Orion light starseeds who have mastered both disciplines and shadow integration feel this transit. That's the transit of Venus entering Sagittarius as a fire of truth, burning through outdated patterns. Sagittarius energy compels them to speak clearly, to set boundaries, and pursue relationships rooted in integrity rather than obligation or fear. During the transit of Venus entering Sagittarius, Orion starseeds will experience sudden realizations about relationships. All of a sudden, you realize that this relationship doesn't work for you. Powerful clarity around your own self-worth. You really get a better understanding of your self-worth during this transit. Feel that energy of how powerful you are. Release of your old emotional restraints, holding back your need to speak your truth, a need for honest communication. That's the next thing it just naturally flowed into. It is that throat chakra, that honest communication, right? This is that energy you're feeling if you tap into it. Remember, these transits are here to help us grow and help us expand, all right? Attraction to spirituality and higher study. You may feel yourself more interested in spirituality or into your higher studies during this transit. And that boldness and self-expression, again, that is that throat chakra, is being yourself, speaking your truth, being who you were meant to be. Tapping into this Venus, let me slow down. The Venus entering Sagittarius energy for Orion Starseeds is your boldness in your self-expression. We're dealing with two different types of starseed energies as we move through this transit. All right. Their love language becomes truth. Everyone likes to talk about what their love language is. During this transit, we're looking at the Orion's love language becoming truth, sharp, liberating, cleansing. Venus activates their natural talent for seeking what is real beneath your social mask. Oh, we're getting deep now. What is really true? Too many times we're in relationships and we are not being true in those relationships. This transit empowers them to let go of relationships that limit their evolution and call in connection that support their ascended path. We're only here to grow. We are here to grow and learn. This is not the last stop. This may be the last human stop for a lot of us on this path as we move into our ascended mastery or ancestral position or whatever we chose to do after this, right? But we're here to grow, all right? And this energy is what we need to tap in for that purpose. Financially, this is a breakthrough period for Orion Starseeds. Sagittarius helps them expand income through knowledge, mastery, and entrepreneurship, teaching, or independent work. It's funny, as we go through this transit period in our American society, a lot of people are worried because they don't have the jobs they didn't want. You didn't want the job. It didn't serve you. And you always had dreams of doing something else. And I guess like most of the human condition, you have to be forced to do it. I mean, it's the whole thing about raising the consciousness of this planet. You can voluntarily do it, or you have to be encouraged to do it through struggle and resistance. All right. And so now that the world is changing dramatically, and the things that you did not want, you no longer have access to, it is time for you to start tapping into that knowledge you have gained. If you've been on a job 15, 20 years, you got a lot of knowledge. You got a lot of knowledge about that job. It may not even be about the specific task that you did, but running a business. You've learned and you've heard and you saw things, and you like, okay, I can apply this in my own life. Something you've mastered in your time. What have you mastered? You haven't mastered anything in 10, 15, 30 years? I'm sure you'll master something that you can apply to entrepreneurship or even just teaching what you have mastered. That is the ultimate outcome of what you've learned, is to share and to teach. All right. So you look at independent work. For Orion Starseeds, Venus in Sagittarius transfers love into a path of truth, sovereignty, and spiritual alignment. I finally got the Sagittarius meaning at the end of this. All right. It's the Sagittarius represents the horse, and horses are the ones that carry the path, the truth. They actually carry you, and they actually present a path. A horse will follow a path. All right. So as we look at Venus in Sagittarius for Orion Starseeds, we look at that love into a path of truth, self-sovereignty, and spiritual alignment. So we have looked at 2 star seeds in relation to Venus entering Sagittarius. We looked at the Orion star seed, and we also looked at the Vega star seed. We did a few of the videos on those different star seeds, so you have a better understanding. Those videos in their entirety are on the channel. You can look at them and gain more knowledge about what it means to be a star seed and see which star seed resonates with you. People say, well, how do I know if I'm a star seed? Well, you read the characteristics, you look through the traits, and you'll find something that resonates with you strongly. Okay. And the thing is that if you need additional help, you can reach out to me, and I'll do a free star seed consultation and help you identify which star seed mostly strongly resonates with you. All right. I truly appreciate the opportunity to allow me to share this information with you. I hope it resonates with someone in their life journey. I want to wish you love and light in your journey.